Woo, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie Bear all day. So normally, if I get a knife in that I'm a little bit disappointed with, I just put it aside and I don't really care about it because I have enough to go around. So it really doesn't bother me. But I got in the Gerber LHR and there's some things I just didn't like about it. And the things that I didn't like were enough not to want to ever carry it. Like the handle and some of the sharp points on the handle, completely wrong. This, however, completely right. Everything about this I really like, really like. Now, I started to modify it to make it to where this would be something that I could carry every day, any day. And I wish now I started filming prior because then I could show you. But I have like 3 videos where this thing is in and you could really see the parts I'm talking about. So we're going to start with right here. This used to come back at the point, it came this way, and then it had like it was angular and came to a point and then curled in. And that little point was pretty rough. So what I did is just rounded that off. This nice little round piece right here used to have a point. It was like a hook and it came around there. So I grinded that off. This was terrible. This was about a 1/4 inch longer. And like the other ones, it hooked in and came to a point and really jacks your hand up when you're using it. This also came to a little point, so I just rounded it off. So you could see that there's some stainless grind. Now I was thinking about just taking some gun paint and painting it over black, and then I started thinking, I plan on using this, so I'm going to end up losing some black anyway, so I'm just going to leave it because I don't care. I'm not doing this for the looks. I'm doing this because I still think this is a good knife. I really do think this is a good knife. So I want to make it better. Just doing that made it better. Upon taking off the scales, which I hate, and I'll show you why. Upon taking off the scales, I found out that this is 100% a skeletonized tang. That is a big fail on this knife. However, it being a fighting knife, it's okay. Like without scales on it right now, it's doing okay in the weight. And I said in the review that the weight was just a little bit off. And I couldn't figure out, why is the weight a little bit off on this knife? I couldn't figure it out because dimension for dimension, it measured right size-wise. I didn't know that it was missing so much steel, and that's what was throwing it off. So when I put it back together, what I might do is fill all this in with JB Weld, and that will cover in here and here with enough weight to counter what was off. It didn't have a bad weight, but it was off. It was off by more than, just a little bit more than a 1/4 inch in the mean. And I want it to be better. So when you're a designer, you design things better. So it was pretty simple. Take a 1/4 inch off of here, take the notch off of here, take the sharp out of here, take the end off of here, bada boom, bada bing, give it a little bit more weight, and you're good. Now the scales. So it was, these are the scales. And I told you about how really cheap feeling this is. It was just rubber, crappy rubber. And it was just really bad. Terrible scales. And then the fact that these lines, there's a saying that all scientists use and people use it everywhere around the world, the path of least resistance, right? These lines right here create the path of most resistance. They go this way, so it prevents you from going this way. This right here, because it goes this way, that's the path of least resistance. Why would you want that going away from your knife on a grip? No idea. So I figured I got to get rid of these. Got to get rid of those. And I got this stuff. It's called fiberboard, right? And I'm going to make scales out of this fiberboard. Now, I have never used this stuff for scales before, but look at this. All right, that's not so bad, man. This stuff is lightweight. It's really sturdy. It's good. I don't know how it shapes. I don't know how it cuts. I don't know anything about this, but I'm going to find out. So what I'm going to do, now these scales are long, right? I think they're longer than 5 inches. They are. They're longer than 5 inches. This is a 5-inch board. This tail end right here, I can't remember exactly. Here we go. Stupid. All right, so this grip was with those scales on it. Actually, let's put it on and measure. Was, let's see, over 5.5 inches from the end of here to the end of here. The thing is, you don't need all this stuff. You see how they got that line right there? That's pretty much all the scale you needed. After measuring in my hands, I realized you only need scales from, you see where that is? That's the end of that's where the screw went into the scale. You don't even need scale really that far up. So what I'm going to do is just go a little bit beyond that, and I will end up with scales about that far in. So somewhere in there, it'll curve up into here, and I'm going to make it this way instead of, I don't know why they, all that goofy stuff. But I'm going to make it right. So that's next, is to put scales on, and hopefully these carve up really nice, because I think this color on that knife and that texturing, I think that's going to be really cool. And like the original scales, I might even go exposed like that, so you could still see that round ridge right there. I think I might leave that. So now it's going to be turning this into a better knife than it already was, and it already was a really, really good fighting knife. It just had some really bad stuff on it. Now that stuff is gone. I know if I reached in quick to get this, that round piece right there isn't hooking on my hand. My hand is gliding right across it. No pain. This right here, if I came hard at it, that little piece right there was pinching. And at first I didn't notice it, and then I started moving around and I caught it. This actually cut right into here. You can see that little you can see that little mark right there. That's just a little like cut into my callus. And that was very uncomfortable, and then this was just bad. So that's all gone. Now it's time to find out what I'm going to do with these, and you guys will see when I'm done. Ooh, so far so good. This is what I'm looking at so far. Oop. Well, I got to line it up a little better now. But you can see, it's really hard to line up when you're not doing it. Plus, I got those little screw pieces that are, but you can see that right there. You can see I took the curve away from here on the grip. I got to put little notches for those inside of here. But so right there, it's going to line up. So you'll see the exposed steel, and I need to take a little bit more off of in here, but you'll get it. You get it, what it's going to look like. It's going to have that effect, and I'm going to do some dimpling in it to make it even better. But these scales, I think, are going to kick a little butt, to be quite honest with you. I think these are going to be great. And this thing's going to look really cool when it's done. It's going to look really cool. Not only is it going to look cool, but it's going to be a better performing knife, because that grip, you see how that fits in the hand? That's perfect. That's exactly perfect. That's exactly where it needs to be. So all I got to do is finish this up. What I'll do is I'll drop a couple dots, boop, boop, there, and then I'll be able to get it around those screw pieces, boop, boop, and really fit it in. And I think it's just going to be fantastic. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put a little dots in there right now. Hold on. All right, so that's sitting flush. So you can see how I still have more material to take away. And then there'll be this little dot right here where I'm just going to, boop, screw in right there. I mean, not screw in, but drill into it right there. But you'll see it'll sit nice and flush. And with two scales, it's going to be just perfect. Ooh. All right, so the hardest thing when you're doing scales by hand is getting them to be both even. Ooh, that's pretty nice. So I got to put some little divots in this one to make it fit around the those little screw jobs there, those little threaded areas, so I can try and see where I'm looking at as far as fitting it. Hold on. All right, so I know now that that thing is going to be super nice and comfortable. And I mean super nice and comfortable. All I'm going to do is round the edges. I'm going to leave it slab-sided with divots in it. Kind of like you'll see like the SE6, the rat 7, rat whatever, you know, rat this, rat that, where I'll leave it slab sided and just put a little bevel on the outside here to make it comfortable, and, you know, give it a little bit of contouring in here to give it some shape for the fingers. But all in all, man, this knife is going to be pretty spectacular. I mean, it's already a great blade. It just needed just a little bit done, and I think a little bit done is doing really good so far. I'm really liking this project. What I want to do is drill through some holes and see how it's going to all fit together. So let me do that next. Okay, so the mock-up. So far, so good. It's all screwed in. Everything's good. Now what I need to do is just shape these up a little bit. What I was thinking about doing was grinding down this steel, making it completely flat. But I don't know if I want to do that. So what I might just go ahead and do is start contouring, and I will see exactly how that is after that's done. But so far, I mean, obviously from some square edges, man, so far it's an improvement. It is an improvement. I love this stuff right here. I think I'll be using this more in the future. This is pretty good stuff. So, let me continue. All right, I gotta say this thing's awesome. I didn't JB weld it yet, but I'm going to. I just did the lanyard hole over, right? I actually redid the whole hole. I mean, the whole hole. I redid this some more. I knocked it down and I flattened it. So I gave it a nice flat area right there. These are contoured really nice for the fingers. It's round up top. It's taken the edge off the rear. I left the edge in the front because, well, A, that doesn't matter, and B, it just gives it a nice square front. I think I have to make it just a little bit more even. Yeah, I got to come down a little bit on that, and then that'll be perfect as is. But right now, I'll tell you, this thing is comfortable. The weight is still a bit off, so I might not do a full fill because it's still too light up front. It's close to dangerous K-bar territory where the weight is up front. There's just not much you could do. It needs more steel up here or just less back here. And I really don't want to keep taking too much steel away because it is a skeletonized tang. But, I mean, it's super comfortable. I was thinking about doing some divots, but now I'm thinking against it. I was thinking maybe do some verticals. I don't know, man. I really like it, but I might still do a few lines in between. I don't know. I'm going to JB weld it and see where it goes from there. And like I said, I'm not going to paint the silver black because I just don't care. I like the way this feels in the hand. It's really nice. It is really light up front. But now the big thing is going to be the sheath, because now it's not going to fit. Thought about that one. So what I might have to do is just get somebody who wants to do a leather sheath for this. Hey, that's a good thing. If you are a leather maker and you would like to do a sheath for this, let me know, because I can. It's free advertising. You make a quick sheath and I'll promote your business. But so far, so good. I mean, I really like it. I'm glad I kind of left the rounded tang up here. It feels good. I'm really glad I took down even more material here because that feels way better in there. Just way better. But as far as this grip right here, that is fantastic. So that's it. All it needs is JB weld. I think I might just call this one done. I like it so much better than this. So much better. And the black and black looks cool and all that. But feel for feel, I mean, you see how thin right there that is in the front? No, see that? It's got to be good and slab-sided. It feels really good only because it has really nice contouring for the fingers. So I think I'm going to JB weld it and call this project done. and this knife is going to be used quite a bit after this. I like it. I really like it. So I'm just going to even this out a little bit and go through and take any hard edges away, and bada boom, bada bing. So now the LHR by Gerber is better. It's just better. It's not that hard to make a knife better. Sometimes just getting rid of the stuff that's bad. And now, I'll tell you, that guard is super comfortable. That is super comfortable right there. This is super comfortable right here. This is a much better knife now. It just feels really good. It's uglier because I'm leaving it silver because I don't care. But I'll tell you what, it's comfortable. I'm digging this. All right, so that's it for this one. That's a success story right there, if you ask me. And believe me, if you would like to do a leather sheath, please let me know. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant, just a plain leather sheath. I'll trace out the dimensions, give you the thickness, bada boom, bada bang, and I'll put it on a piece of paper and send it to you. And I would love to have a nice leather sheath to go with this thing, because I like this. I like this. If you are interested in this is what it is. The it's backwards to me. Oh, the fiber board. I forgot what it was. Fiber board. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I like it. It feels a lot like micarta. Not good linen micarta, but it feels a lot like micarta. This is pretty nice. All right, so that's it. I'm done with this one. I am Donnie B all day. Till next knife.